This is fermented milk, Kefir milk. This is milk fermented with Kefir grains. These are called Kefir grains. I don't know why it is called as grains. This is not grains at all. It's a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. This is mainly composed of various species of lactic acid bacteria. These microbes work together to ferment milk. When it ferments milk, it kind of gives the sour taste, just like buttermilk or yogurt. But interesting thing is it gives kind of a slightly carbonated drink. Like it's a combination of, as if you have added soda to your yogurt or buttermilk. This has been fermenting overnight. It is ready to be separated and stored. So Kefir doesn't like anything metal, but for a brief amount of time that's okay. I use a mixing bowl, smaller mixing bowl, and a strainer, and then you just strain the Kefir grains. You can do it in batches. Don't be afraid of being a little rough on these grains, that's okay. So if you can see, it is nicely getting separated. All separated. So the fermented milk is here. If this tastes just like buttermilk or yogurt, you can replace your yogurt, regular yogurt, to this Kefir milk. It's fun to drink, but you have to follow certain discipline in maintaining these grains, which you have to feed them proper sugar. They just survive on the sugar which is in the lactose. So to preserve or to maintain high quality of your Kefir drink, which, as I mentioned, this is a colony of bacteria and yeast. As you know, yeast thrive on sugar. So basically it feeds itself on the sugar in milk. Once it is fermented, as it eats up all the sugar, it becomes Kefir milk. So you have to change the milk every 12 hours, or depending on the environment. If it is very hot, it kind of activates faster. If it is little colder climate, it might take 16 to 18 hours. But it depends on your environment. Let us transfer the fermented milk back to the glass container. It has to be glass. You cannot store this in metal container. Kefir grains don't like metal. This has to be put in the fridge to slow down the kefir. It still ferments if it is put in a room temperature on the countertop. So here are our grains. So what I do is I just dump it into another glass container and pour fresh milk. These Kefir grains have been separated. As you can see, I have lot of grains. I use filtered water which has no chlorine. It has to be, or you can use distilled water if you don't have a great filter which filters everything. You can use distilled water. The Kefir grains doesn't like any chlorine. So what I do is I wash. This I do every 3 days once. Just wash the grains a little so that there is, it opens up and it can soak up more milk. And then I add a little bit of milk powder on this, and I dump this into a clean glass container for fermenting more. So you can add a little more milk powder, mix it little, and then add fresh milk. Make sure milk is fresh. If there is any bacteria already in the cold milk, you know that bacteria grows faster than your kefir and it spoils the taste of the milk, and it can give a foul smell in your milk, and that spoils both milk and kefir grains. So make sure you feed it with little bit of milk powder. A little bit of investment of milk powder saves big time. And make sure you add fresh milk. Once you have added, give a stir, and make sure if there is lot of cream from your milk, mix it. Usually if the cream stays on top, that has bad bacteria and it can smell bad. So this is a delicate balance of the taste. You have to have these proper method to keep the consistency of your kefir milk's taste. It can easily go either way. It can taste great or it can taste really bad like vomit. You just don't want to use it. So in case if your kefir grains goes bad, there are some days you are busy, you can't really pay attention. These are really like pets. Then you just rinse it with either well filtered water, or to be more safe you can use distilled water, which is available in cans. And make sure you wash the kefir grains, feed it with lot of milk powder, and you can revive it back to health. Make sure your milk smells good when you're pouring it into your grains. Once you have poured fresh milk into your grains, what I do is I just cover it with a muslin cloth and leave it on the counter. And some days when you don't want to have lot of this milk, you don't have milk in the fridge, you can just pour some fresh milk, lots of milk powder, and store it in the fridge for 3-4 days. It stays dormant.